All right, guys, I'm here with Connor from Dissentience. I never know if I say that right. Is that close enough?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've heard. I think there's like two ways we say dissentience, and we've heard
Dissentience.
dissentience, which is cool too. I mean, as long as you're not calling us late for dinner, we don't really care what you call us.
You don't happen to have a headset, do you?
I do not on me. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay. I just have a little trouble hearing you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we should be good. So I talked to you and Nick last year before I met you guys out in Los Angeles. You guys won the East Coast battle for the Vakken Metal Battle and drove all the way from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles. That's insane.
Yeah, man. It was an interesting ride, man. We had a lot of fun for sure. It was like one of the best experiences of my life. And I think the rest of the guys would say the same thing. When just going through the East Coast shows, like we didn't even think that we were going to win them. Honestly, I think I said that last time too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a huge surprise for us and a huge honor to like get to go out there, play at the Viper Room, which was sick. But yeah, the only thing that I wish we did different was plan some more shows on the way out there. But like I said, it was sort of a surprise in the last minute, so we didn't have too much time to plan everything.
So when the battle came up again this year, you guys were not eligible because you won one of the regional finals, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. However, one of our buddies, I think Cruel Bomb, one of our buddies from Scranton, is actually doing it this year, and they played it last year. Is it that you can't play it again if you win, or you can't play it again if you play?
If you win, if you win your region, because Monarch, who won the USA last year, the year before they they got a couple rounds in. They have a lot more rounds out in the West Coast, but yeah, they didn't win, so they tried again and succeeded the second time around.
Yeah,
So
congrats to them.
yeah, so your band, out of all the bands that played at the Viper Room last May, um, your band is the only band I didn't get to see a second time. I mean, is that my fault or is that your fault? I mean, or is it a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. We've been sort of keeping busy. We were doing a lot of playing on the East Coast after that, like all summer last year, and then Nick had to go in. He broke his elbow. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. He broke his elbow, and he's actually had to have 4 surgeries for that since, for various reasons. And then he was going through some legal BS, and we had to stop playing for a little bit. We actually had to cancel some shows because of that. And then once we got back into it a little bit, then he got an awesome offer from this band Sonaro. They were going over to Europe to tour, and he went with them. They needed a drummer. So he went with them, had an awesome time, and now he's back, and we've been writing the new album as well. So keep him busy in other ways, but so a little bit our fault because we've been sort of laying low for a little while. But once we get back out there and get this, well, once this coronavirus stuff blows over, and once we get the record out, hopefully we'll be doing a lot more playing out, a lot more places.
So what have you been doing with this, like everything shutting down?
Personally, or as far as the band?
Both.
I mean, personally, it hasn't affected me too much. I'm still working. Um, so, you know, sort of going about my day, and then when I come home, I can't really go out or anything. It's weirder on Friday and Saturday nights, but during the week, it's kind of like life goes on.
All right.
But as far as the band goes, we were doing some pre-pro sessions in a studio with our buddy Matt at Peach Pie Sound in New Jersey, and he actually, we had I think 2 dates booked 2 weeks ago, and those were the last ones that we could do. And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm sort of shut down for a little bit. Like I have to quarantine, blah blah blah," which I respect that.
Yeah.
So we're not able to go into the studio to continue the pre-pro, which sort of sucks. But we're getting a lot of time to get familiar with the songs as they're changing. this time, so that's cool. That's cool.
Right on,
But
man.
the other thing too that sort of sucked was we had a few shows. Actually, I think our first couple shows since Nick was back. A few Philly shows planned this month and next month, and I had to pretty much cancel everything. So that sucks,
Yeah.
but again, it's sort of for the best. I mean, I don't really want to be out there spreading anything if we don't have to be.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's best to just stay at home. Um, are you so with this extra time at home? Are you working on stuff yourself? Just like working on some riffs or some lyrics or anything?
Oh yeah, man. So as far as like the new record goes, we have most of the writing done. 9 out of 10 songs are basically structurally complete, but we have to work on, like Jimmy and I have to work on putting leads in still. So there's a lot of like working with that. I've been jamming songs pretty much every day trying to figure stuff out, and I think there's 3 or 4 yet that don't have lyrics or any vocals on top of them. So I'll be working on that for sure.
Are there going to be any like COVID-19 themes or anything like that?
I don't know, man. I haven't thought about it too much. Like I don't know if that would be a little bit corny, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting watching the world sort of go into chaos all at once.
Yeah.
It's hard not to want to say something about it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, art is a reflection of the times in a lot of way, right? So, I mean, there
Yeah.
could be a lot of people. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of bands writing, some brutal death metal songs about suffocating on the phlegm and shit like that, right?
Oh God, yeah, dude. Or like, I've heard some pretty, not to downplay them by any means or downplay the seriousness of all this, but I've heard like some pretty brutal and fucked up stories of like some quarantine related deaths that happened, and
Ugh.
you definitely see some death metal bands writing lyrics about that.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to listen to too much of that stuff because yeah, it can be pretty bad from what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty insane. It's I think the only reason I hear a lot about it, I don't really read too much of it, but some of the people at work just talk about it, so I hear a lot of that stuff.
So what's the outbreak been like there?
Um,
So I know New York City's gotten it pretty bad.
yeah, New York City's got it pretty bad. I actually work right across the state line in Jersey, and they have it. They got it pretty bad from the beginning. I think they were one of the earliest ones on the East Coast that had an outbreak of it,
Hmm.
or had any like positive cases of it. So they got on lockdown fairly quick, and I started getting like letters from work and stuff like that that are, because we do some Department of Defense work and stuff. So we're considered essential, but I was getting letters essentially from the DoD that are like, yeah, if anybody pulls you over or anything, or anybody tries to stop you from coming to work, just show them this, and they'll let you pass. But it's kind of nuts just on that end. And PA, you're a little slower to pull the trigger. It's been a little bit more progressive. Like Jersey kind of just went right on lockdown. PA's been sort of over time imposing a few more restrictions and more restrictions and all that. But there's no like curfew here or anything yet, so that's good.
They in the county that I work in, um, it's just a little bit north of where I live. They put in like a curfew from midnight to 6 a.m.
Yeah, I think Jersey starts at 8 p.m., which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty crazy. I mean, I guess there's like Houston is so big, is it's like and it's so spread out that there's so many like essential employees that just have to drive to the other side of town. So there's like no way they could shut everything down. At least New York City is big, but it's like, you know, Manhattan is an island.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with New York is there's just so many people on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like not it's hard to maintain that 6 foot distance or like any kind
Yeah,
of distance really
definitely.
from any.
Like you're in a building, you're in a, 40-story building and someone one person gets sick in there, that can real easily spread in that building
Well,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. What a fucking downer, man. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's good. It's good. It's just like it's nuts. Just because of the fact that so many, I don't think people realize or even think of being in that situation when they move into somewhere like that. You know?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, this has never happened before, ever.
No, I
You
mean
know?
nobody's prepared for it at all.
No, no. You just have to live your life and do the best you can. Try to be safe, and if you're a musician, work on some lyrics and some tunes.
Yeah.
And if you're not a musician, if you just promote musicians, just try to have Skype interviews with them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one of the many silver linings to sort of come out of this is that, at least from a creative aspect, pretty much any artist should be coming out of this with a lot. I wouldn't necessarily say good material, but a lot of material regardless. You know, it's going to be a big creative boom, I think, just because people don't have anything else to do. Even for
Yeah.
people who are getting into an instrument or anything like that, you know, the guy who has had a guitar sit in the corner forever but never learned how to play it, like, if he's home from work right now, he might learn how to play it. He might be the next fucking Hendrix. Who knows, man? But, like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of cool things artistically are going to come out of this.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, only time will tell. Um,
Yeah,
there's always a silver lining somewhere, right?
yeah, yeah. Gotta find it, man.
So you had some shows coming up that had to be canceled, but let's talk about some of the shows that you had before. I remember talking to you. I was looking at the messenger from some of the messages we had before, and you guys did a show with Chrysix from Spain, right?
Yeah, that was an awesome show, man. Philly. That was sick. Those dudes, absolutely killer. Probably one of the tightest thrash bands I've ever seen live.
Absolutely.
Small scale, big scale, whatever. They fucking killed it, man. And honestly, the most impressive thing to me is they had like massive control over the crowd. You know, so many
Yeah.
bands. You know, again, whether it be small or big, whatever, they might kick ass. They might be the tightest band ever musically, but they can't get a crowd moving to save their life.
Hmm.
These dudes had fucking circle pits from like the beginning of their set to the end of their set, man. It was awesome.
I got to see them twice last year, and they were both completely different sets, but they were, like you said, they know what they're doing. They're professionals. They're real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would never think like one of the best thrash bands would come from Spain. You know, that's just not what I think about. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of stuff ends up coming from like the weirdest places, like Sepultura from Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought any band from Brazil, especially at that point, would have like broke the way they did.
Right.
Um, or even like it was always weird to me that death metal came from Florida. Or well, not that it came from Florida, but like one of the originating
Epicenters.
spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always weird to me, man. Like it's such a happy kind of surfer dude-ish place. I don't know.
Well, Tampa is weird, man. Like
Yeah.
all of Florida is weird, but like Tampa, St. Petersburg specifically, there's like there's definitely some kind of
Oh,
like
there's some.
Indian burial ground or something.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You a Reddit fan at all? You go on Reddit?
Very rarely, very
Yeah.
rarely. I mean, I have
They
the
have,
app on my phone, but
yeah. I probably use that more than most like other social media, but they have a subreddit on there called Our Florida Man, and it's the funniest fucking
yeah.
thing. It's the most ridiculous headlines from Florida news. It's amazing.
Well, you know that what the deal is with that. I mean, there is a lot of crazy shit that happens in Florida, but
Yeah.
the thing is like every arrest gets like reported, like publicly reported, and most other states don't do that. So whenever there's a crazy story, and it's always led with Florida man does this and does that, it's because I mean, all the arrests are public there. So
That's fine.
they've done themselves a disservice because yeah, everybody knows about Florida Man.
Well, the fucked up thing too is like most other states probably have equally as much crazy shit happening and equally as many
Yeah,
crazy arrests. Like you said, though, they're just not publicized like that.
right,
Oh, that's
right.
nuts. Damn.
Have you seen any like crazy shit go down in rural Pennsylvania?
I personally have not. I heard that there was a couple murders recently, which is pretty
Oh, that's cool.
crazy. Yeah. One of my coworkers said he woke up the other night, and he lives in Jersey, but he woke up the other night to someone trying to break into his house, which is pretty fucking nuts. Probably steal toilet paper.
Have you gone to the store? I mean, are people making runs on toilet paper and shit
Yeah,
there too?
dude, you can't even find it. Like the shelves are empty. It's just like toilet paper, paper towels, any kind of like sanitary wipes, hand sanitizer. It's all just gone. I was trying to find rubbing alcohol for. I make guitar pedals and I use it for the finishing process. And was trying to find rubbing alcohol at Walmart the other night. Not like I saw an empty shelf and I was like, that can't be the rubbing alcohol. Everybody has like they have rubbing alcohol. They can't not. I went to ask the lady about it and she was like, oh yeah, no, that's like long gone, man. I think we might have a shipment coming tomorrow, but like good luck getting it.
Are like people buying it to make their own hand sanitizer or something? Or
Honestly, I don't know. I think a lot of it is just like misinformation and whatnot. Because if my facts are correct, I'm pretty sure they said regular soap works just as good as any kind of antibacterial or hand sanitizer or anything like that.
yeah,
So I just don't understand why people are like buying it up like crazy. Don't get me wrong, I get like if you want to have a couple bottles on hand, but it's like you can just buy soap and be fine. And there's
yeah,
plenty of that. You can still find soap on the shelves, which is honestly the most ironic thing.
yeah. I actually need some hand soap for my house. I noticed. I was like, oh shit, I'm running low on this. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to have to go to the store and try to buy this shit.
Gotta gear up, man. Put on the elbow pads.
Uh,
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, I didn't really see like too many crazy people at the store, but I mean they're out of basically everything. I know you couldn't find like the first maybe week or two of all the panic. You couldn't find chicken. Like there was a lot of shit that you just couldn't find food wise out as well. Which again, it's just like why is everybody buying like 5 family packs of chicken to last them a month or two, probably
yeah,
until everything starts like getting back to normal, if that. So it's just crazy, man. I think a lot of it's just overreaction and sort of media bred panic, which I'm not surprised by it, but it'd be what it'd be.
man. It. I mean, so right now, like, are you restaurants doing like pick up and to goes and stuff like that, delivery?
They were for a little while, but I think just the other day the governor said like he was going on like a full lockdown, full quarantine mode, whatever. So all the restaurants are now shut down for the most part. I mean, like Wawa's still open. Like you definitely
That's
go to a
okay.
gas station, still get food.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Wawa's like a gas station, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like 7-Elevens and stuff like that aren't that big here. We gotta have like Wawa and Sheets more. Like 7-Elevens are like they're definitely around, but people's preference is more Wawa and Sheets, which is pretty sick because they have like hot food and like fresh sandwiches and stuff like that, which I
Hmm.
think some of those gas stations are starting to get into now. But Wawa fucking rules. I'm so happy that they're still open. But
I have, I have a friend that works at a Stewart's in I think Vermont, maybe Vermont or upstate New York, somewhere like on the border around there. And yeah, she's working. like regular full shift. She's essential.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. The only thing that they're doing, like Wawa's and Sheets and all that shit, are usually open 24 hours, but now they're closing, I think, at like 10 or something like that. They're not 24 hours for this
No.
quarantine period, which is odd. I feel like if you're going to keep them open, keep them open. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. That's pretty
It,
much like, I feel like that's the motto at this point. It's just like, it is what it is. You got to just like keep moving with this shit.
right. Right. Well, what else are you doing to keep busy?
Like I said, I have like a little pedal company that I'm starting, just like a one
Yeah.
man guitar pedal thing called Practical Effects. So I've been working on a couple things in that field. I'm finishing up the design for one pedal. I have to troubleshoot another one before I can like officially call it released. So keeping myself plenty busy with that. Like I said, I was still working. I work 4 days, but it's like 10-hour shifts, so 4 days out of the week. So that keeps me busy during the week. Uh,
So tell me,
like I
what
said, a
made you
lot of work solos.
what made you decide to make your own pedal?
Oh, it's a funny story. So back in 8th grade, uh, I was in like the gifted program at school, and it was honestly sometimes more annoying than actually like educational. Um, but one of the things that we had to do was they had this. It's called PJAS. It's like a Pennsylvania State Science Fair. There's all different like you can do like regionals and this and that. You can choose to either like participate in the competition or just do it for your school as like a project and present it. And in the 8th grade year, we had to actually like compete in the whole uh, competition, I guess. And I was trying to think of stuff to do for the project, and I just like couldn't come up with any really good ideas. I just started playing guitar maybe a year or two before, so I was getting pretty heavily into that at that point. Definitely, like I would say, 7th, 8th grade was probably when I started getting like super into guitar, just like woodshedding as soon as I got home. So I was trying to think of something that sort of met both things, something I could use on the guitar end of things, but
Mhm.
also that I could use for this science project. And I ended up building a
Okay.
tube screen clone from a kit that I found online for like $60, and I think I tested like different diodes in it. That was the project. Just seeing like what that did to the sound, and I recorded it and had like the sonic spectrum and shit like that. And I actually went to States with it, but I had so much fun building that pedal. And then a few years go by, and trying to think about what to do for college. Moving on to higher education, and I really wanted to do electronics tech and get into circuits and shit like that because I wanted to understand like why pedals sounded the way they did, not just like be able to put them together, but design one from scratch if I really wanted to. So I did that. I went to local community college, did like a 2-year program, got all my certs and stuff. Now that's what I'm doing for a living. But it was kind of crazy, just like once I got into it, how much of that the 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 general knowledge that I learned from the tech courses, which isn't audio related whatsoever, started just clicking to me as pedal concepts, like working with op amps and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, like that's how gain stages work, or like, oh shit, like that's how phasers work. Is it's just like one signal with another one that's out of phase. It's two signals. Um, Weird shit like that. And I think the more and more I went on with that, the more and more obviously interested in it I became, and I was taking it seriously on a professional level, not related to audio, but uh, with the skills that I learned at school, I was like, kind of just sort of took up pedal building again, just for fun. Made a couple clones of shit for myself, for a couple friends, and then I came up with one design that was pretty sick. It's based on this old TC Electronics boost that Meshuggah used. Um,
Okay.
it's pretty nuts, actually. And I fucking love it, dude. Like, the second that I put it in front of my 5150, I was like, this is the sound. Because tube screamers kind of like cut a little bit of the low end. There's a lot of EQ shaping going on there that you can't necessarily control. But this thing was like pure fucking clean boost, like just all tone in the end. So I was sold at that point, and I'd been thinking about starting some kind of company. It was always sort of a dream to do it, but with that design, I was pretty sold that I had something solid to put out. So I was like, fuck it, why not? Started designing the PCBs, all that good stuff. Just got super into it. And now, I mean, it's still pretty much just starting. I think I only put out. I started an Instagram page for it a while ago, just to like have a place to show off pedals, but I don't think it really started like trying to take orders or anything like that until late last year. But I just finished one for I don't know if you ever heard of Shark Bullet. They're from like the Philly area.
No.
They're pretty sick. They play around here. We've played around here with them a couple times. They're like just beer soaked thrash metal, dude. It's fucking.
Okay.
It's pretty rad. And we played a show with them. I think it might have been the last show we played actually, last month. And my buddy Brandon from Cruel Bomb was filling in on guitar for us, and he has one of the boost pedals. I had one. This dude and I were talking pedals beforehand, and I was like, yeah, man, if you're interested, you should check out this boost pedal that I make. I have it on my board. I know he has one of his. Like, I don't pay him money, and he'll still sell you on this fucking thing. Like, it sounds so good. It's nuts. So he ended up ordering one, which came out awesome. I have to send that out. I'm going to make a little demo with it to put up. But, yeah, pedal companies keeps me busy, man. It's intensive, but it's fun. I like designing the PCBs and doing all that kind of shit, and trying to, it's just a one-man show. I basically do this stuff out of my bedroom, my garage. So I want to put out the most professional-looking product that I can, while still sort of maintaining the one-man company aspect of it.
Right. Sure.
For now. So it's fun. It's challenging, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said too, like with that pedal project for in middle school, it's on one hand it's cool because it sort of ticks the electronics box for me, but also it's a lot of fun because I can use this stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff electronics wise that I'll do, say at work, that has no application for me whatsoever. Granted, like I still find it interesting, but it's it's not something that I enjoy to the extent of like pedals. It's
right. Okay.
being able to finish a pedal, throw it in front of your amp, and be like, "Damn, this sounds good, bad, whatever." Like it's just fun, just making your guitar sound different, and again, understanding like the why behind things.
Sure.
Not just like, "Oh, let me throw this in front of the amp and see if it sounds good."
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. That's cool, dude. That's really cool. Well, I hope it takes off, and follow the
Thanks.
Most Epic Adventures Instagram on your pedal thing, and I'll try to share, or just send me a picture or something. And I'll send me a picture, and I'll share it and tell everybody to check your shit out.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
No problem. No
What else are
problem.
you to do?
I'm still going to work. I'm working less hours, but I'm still getting paid the same, which is awesome. So on my downtime, I'm doing some video games, playing some video games, which I'm not really a gamer. So I bought
Yeah.
I got a PS4 today, a PS4 Pro, because I wanted to be able to play 4K Blu-rays. Like who buys physical Blu-rays anymore? I mean, I'm old. I still buy that shit.
Dude, I 100% do. That was actually there's like a bunch of there's a huge local like horror movie community in like the Lehigh Valley. So there's some Facebook groups, and one of the first things I saw after this like virus shit started was like, yeah, everybody used to laugh at me for having a physical media collection. Now your fucking bandwidth's gonna get eaten up. You can't use Netflix. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a good point. That's a good
nah,
point.
I mean, I always just prefer the quality, and just kind of like this the same way that if I really like a band's record, or if I really like a band, I'll support them and buy the vinyl, like
Right.
the vinyl album.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. And I'm hoping that vinyl comes with the download code.
yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Which it's weird to me because I feel like a lot of metal releases don't come with download code. Like
It
every
dep-
other genre, there's some that do that I've
yeah.
gotten. But I feel like most other genres, it's almost like guaranteed that you're gonna get it. But if
I
I
think
get a
it
metal record, it's like ooh, I don't know.
I think it depends on the label. Like if they're on a label that's with it, they will. If they put it out themselves, then I mean, they could put a Bandcamp link. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't do that, you know. But I just got Code Orange's new record. Have you heard that? Are you into those guys at all?
I have not heard the new record. I checked them out a few years ago. They were on tour coming through Philly at the First Unitarian Church.
Yeah, I
And
saw. I just watched that video actually.
oh really?
Yeah, I watched
That show,
that. Were you
that
at
show
that
was
show?
fucking nuts. Yeah. That show is fucking nuts, man. I'm
Okay.
not. There's a few bands that like I feel this way about. They're one of those bands that on record I can't find myself listening to them that much, but live like they put on such a fucking kick ass show, and you can't not get into it watching them.
I
You know, it's,
I watched that show specifically. Like they they're almost like two different bands, you know.
yeah,
Like when Jamie's singing behind the drums, I think he's come out from behind the drums now. I think they got a different drummer and he sings. But when he's singing, and then when I think her name is Reba sings, they're like two completely different bands. And I they I love both of them. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but I could see how like during a live set where they're just playing like some hardcore shit, and then they slow it down a little bit. It can be kind of like a. I mean, I
It,
like listening to it, but like being there, I don't know how I'd feel about it.
yeah, I
I think
remember.
it's good. It's good to like help the crowd killers calm down, maybe.
Oh, for sure, dude. Did you see? I forget who it was. There was like some local hardcore legend that came out at the end. Or it was like they were like maybe like one or two songs from the end of their set or some shit. And he actually came out and said something because it was like maybe a month ish after that incident where wasn't it like some chick got kicked by like a dude with wearing steel toes in the pit.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it was one of their shows or some other band show, but it was. I remember reading an article about that, and like it was a little bit big at the time. And this was like a month after, so he actually came out and said some shit about like, blah blah blah, keep moshing safe, this and that, have your
Yeah,
fun,
yeah.
you know, which was good. I respect the hell out of that, and honestly, good on him. I see a lot of fucking idiots in the pit sometimes, and I think everybody wants to say something,
I'm
but nobody necessarily does.
I-
'Cause,
I'm I'm good, man. I I'm 42. Like I'm okay standing in the back. I like to be by the
yeah,
soundboard because that's where the sound is the best anyway, and I can
oh
see the stage. I
yeah, you
sound
can
so
actually.
fuck, sound so fucking old, but if I'm like videotaping or something, it's also better. I don't have to worry about my shit
Yeah.
getting destroyed.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, that's nuts. Jimmy does that all the time, man. He'll go to a show and he'll like depending on what song, if a band plays a really good song or whatever, or one that he likes, he'll record it on his phone and shit, or at least he used to. And it was just nuts to me because we would always try to get front row. Like we'd be up against the rails, and he's sitting there with his fucking phone out. Like what? Like not. Like, I don't even care about like the whole like disrespect. Like whatever, man. If you want to film the fucking show, you paid money to get in. You film the fucking show. Film the whole thing. But it's your phone. Like you got people crowd surfing over your head and shit. Like
Yeah,
fully willing to kick that shit out of your hand just to get down.
yeah,
I don't know. That was just kind of nuts to me. Although I'm not. If I go to a show, depending like if it's a band I'm really trying to see, I'll probably try to get up front. If it's more like a local thing, I'll chill in the back. I mean, like I'll get into it because support your local bands, especially if they're
yeah.
fucking awesome.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be throwing down in the pit on a fucking Thursday night at a shit show. Like it's not happening anymore. Maybe, definitely when I was younger, but yeah, But I mean, I don't know. It could happen, depending on the band.
It will, yeah.
Depending on the show.
Maybe once all this winds down, I'll fly to New York. You can meet me up there and go see a show. You guys can open up for somebody or headline this fucking show, dude. Come on.
Dude, hopefully, man. Once this record's out,
do you know Grim Jim, also known as Necrosexual?
Oh yeah, dude. We've played with them a bunch of times. They always come. There's a local spot called the Alternative Gallery in Allentown, and shout out to Paul that runs that shit or all the shows there. He's fucking awesome, dude. He puts on the sickest shows there, and he's had them a few times, more than a few times. And he's in a band called Basilisk, also. Yes, we've played with them as well. Those dudes are tight as fuck. Yeah.
I think Necrosexual was trying to do the battle this year.
Oh, nice.
His band there. So, but I don't know how that's going on. I haven't been able to follow what's. I mean, all these shows have been canceled, and they try to move them. I don't really know what's going on with it all, but
yeah.
But yeah, he's a cool dude, man. He was on my podcast once. Well, he used to follow my Twitter, and he unfollowed me. But then I was like, dude, why'd you unfollow me? And then he added me on Instagram. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, whatever, dude. It's cool. I got to get going though, but I appreciate you taking the time, and it was cool catching up with you, dude. I look forward to seeing what you got coming up with your band and with your pedals, and
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me, man. Expect to be hearing new music probably sometime this year if this shit ever blows over and we can get in the goddamn studio.
Yeah. And but, if you like metal, like this video. Sorry, I'm doing the YouTube thing. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with your friends on Facebook and Twitter and wherever else. Please check out my man Connor's band. You can hear, you're on all the major platforms, right?
Yep. You can stream our debut EP, Mask of Pretense, on pretty much everything: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, pretty much everywhere. Or you can head to Dissentience.com, grab yourself a T-shirt or CD or any kind of merch, and get your physical copy. Yeah, like that T-shirt. Actually, I think we sold out of those. Oh, bitch.
Nice.
Those are nice though.
Yeah, I like it. You also, on your YouTube, you've done some playthroughs recently.
Yeah, we did those a little while ago.
I mean,
yeah, they were a little while ago. Like I said, once it's like the last sort of half a year essentially has been wishy-washy for us just because of various things. But yeah, we did some playthroughs on there, so check those out. I think there's one for Chasing Existence and one for Tombstone Currency. I know Nick has a shit ton of playthroughs on his Facebook that he shares all the fucking time, be it covers or our stuff. So check that shit out. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks again, Connor. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay brutal.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. You stay safe yourself. Thanks again for having me.
All right. Hold on. Don't go anywhere yet.